G'day everybody, how are you going today? It is so good to see you. I do hope that you are super well. Today I want to talk about a brand new continuous lighting solution that can work for both photographers and filmmakers. Hobolite. Now this is a brand that you may not have heard of, but it's actually owned by a company called AEC, who've been making LED lighting solutions for around 20 years. Now, what's really interesting about Hobolite in the era of the ZF and the ZFC, anything Fuji has been doing for the last decade or so, we have the Nikon DF, FM, and every vintage camera that ever existed, the designers of Hobolite have lent intensely into that aesthetic look and feel. And this is part, besides the absolutely premium build quality, this is part of what makes Hobolite interesting and exciting and aesthetically pleasing. Today what we're going to do is unbox and take a look at the Hobolite Mini. There are 4 lights in the Hobolite range. Let's start right here. Essentially, we're going to react to this light together. Part of AEC/Hobolite is they're really interested in the environment. And so they're trying to make everything as environmentally friendly as they can. We start with this lovely, really well made, great materials, and looks cool. There's a bit of heft to this. It's not light. Now, the reason it's not light is because Hobolite, they believe in quality. And there you go. This is what you will find in a Hobolite kit. We have the light stand, cabling, diffusers, and barn doors, kind of mini handle / tripod. The sort of thing we've seen a lot of before, but this is where the journey with Hobolite is just oh so very different. This stand is a beautiful all metal construction. We just don't see that very much anymore at this sort of level of equipment. Everything is plastic. Now plastic is lighter, so that's the one thing you need to think about. Here is the Hobolite Mini, and what is the first thing that you think of when you see a Hobolite Mini? And for me, well, it's a Hasselblad. This is a little bit smaller than a Hasselblad, and I own a Hasselblad. It absolutely looks and feels like a miniature Hasselblad. Let's turn this little guy on. We've got this beautiful little screen here, and the light is bright. We're cranking it all the way to maximum power. These are bright lights. I mean, you can look how small that is, and you can see it's absolutely overwhelming. Now it's closer. The lights that I have here are probably 7-inch by 6-inch or 8-inch by 7-inch panels that are about just under 2 meters, 5 feet away, something like that. And this thing is throwing a lot of light. There's an interesting, to me, and I have to just show you here how you tap and it jumps in 10 increments, or you can turn and you get individual, and it's the same here. You tap and it jumps you through with the brightness in 25% increments, or you can dial one at a time. Really easy and simple to use operation, and like a lot of these devices, there is also the Bluetooth component. As is common with so many lights today, we have smartphone control. We can see the iPhone on the left controlling the intensity of the light and also the color temperature of the light. And there's really fantastic haptic feedback that comes through the phone. Beyond that, we also have a fairly wide range of special effects, including flash, flame, screen, lightning, pulse, fireworks, shutter, and explosion. And you can run them on loops, and they look pretty cool. Also, I talk about the fan noise being reasonably audible. Well, we can see here that you can turn the fan on and off. Now, how that affects things? Well, we will test that out in the full video. 25, 50, 75, 100. It's a lot of light for such a small package. Now, interestingly, there is a fan noise. Now at a meter, yeah, I can still hear that. I doubt the microphone will be picking that up. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. Now there's an internal battery in this unit. That battery is not user changeable. In the larger sets, they're user changeable. So that's intriguing. So there is hot shoe mount. It's all beautiful. We have Kelvins here, and you can see the yellow light on my face. 2700 all the way through to, it's so bright, it's a very bright light, all the way through to 6500. Quite cool. That's all you need. That's great. Here with the mini light, it actually has the ability to focus, change the size. And by changing the size, you change the intensity as well, making it even more intense, but more spot. Quite impressive. Makes this a really useful light. And as I said, this is at 1%. Done very neatly, very well machined. And then we have this other bracket here. Again, looks great. And we've got a spot here for accessories. And this is to go on the tripod. And this is probably how a lot of people would use this kit. Now, this is a creator kit designed to kind of have everything you need to get the basics done. This is part of what Hobolite are thinking about, is the fact that you can pop an artifact like this in your frame and it'll still look magnificent. And they're right. I would have no problem putting this in my frame. Now we have some accessories. We have colours, green, cyan, red, magenta, orange, and we have a grid and a diffuser. Now, we pop all of that on by way of these barn doors. Cute little, very nicely made barn doors. And then we can simply pop on a diffuser. It's magnetic, and you can barn door till your heart's content. And that is the basic kit. Obviously, we have power adapter cable. Now you can continue to run the light with the cable in order to eliminate the battery. But there's way more than just the mini kit. And this is where we're going to go next level. We've got the next size up. And you know what? There's another size above this as well. And there's a size below that. And we've got some serious hardware in here. And this is where we truly get the Hasselblad vibe. And this is the Hobolite Avant. And this really is absolutely Hasselblad. This is a Hasselblad sized light. And it comes with the same array of absolutely, and listen, there's pretty much clicks. Oh, they don't come that good. That is awesome. And this is kind of Hasselblad / Leica level build quality. I mean, not just build quality, but build quality with aesthetic. This pops in here a different way. We're squeezing this on. And there we have it. Now, just to give you an idea, this unit here, bright, 20 watts it's rated at. This is rated at 100. That's a lot of power. And of course you can battery eliminate. And this one works with a standard V-mount style battery, but Hobolite have done a gorgeous version of it. Plugs in the back, all very lovely looking. I mean, just gorgeous. To run that 100 watts, yeah, you need some power. That's it. Now you can choose to mount that, put it in your pocket, sit it on a table, do whatever you want to do with it. But this is an immense amount of light. I went all the way through. So we can run it off a V-mount battery, or we can run it off the mains. And as you can see there, it is, well, it's 100 watts of output, and we can go from 2700 all the way up to 6500 in steps or in a gentle transition. This is a lot of light, it's a lot of power, it looks gorgeous, and there's no question it can work for both stills photography and cinematography. Again, we have the same sorts of attachments here that we can pop this on the front. We have the same barn door style setup, and I'll just turn that down because it's probably creating a ridiculous amount of flare. Barn doors, beautiful construction, looks absolutely gorgeous, and of course this is more of a stand level type of light, so you can mount it on a stand. We have the same diffuser which pops in there via magnets and gives us a more diffused light. Hobolite make stands. They're not just any stand, they're quite lovely because they are carbon fibre and they are very light and quite gorgeous. And that right there is a really nice setup from Hobolite. Looks beautiful, great, really super well made stand. The build quality and aesthetic of these stands and lights, superb. Now this video, as I said at the start, it's just a first look video. We'll get these out there in the field and have a play with them and really get to understand how are they as lights. But something that when you've spent your whole life looking at and dealing with light is, I can see that the light that they throw is really quite beautiful, and I love what they do. They are very long life, and if you compare this to when I started in this industry in the late 80s and early 90s, we were using lights called redheads and blondies, and they were 800 watts and 2K, 2000 watts. And they took these bulbs that got extraordinarily hot, and they were very fragile, expensive to replace, and they really didn't last very long. We have come so far in the last 30 years since those lights were what filmmakers used to get things done. This is just extraordinarily high quality lighting that's going to look as good in your shot as it is going to look lighting your shot. I look forward to sharing more with you about Hobolite in the future. We'll get these things in the field, we'll get them in action. We're also going to see the even bigger one than this and the even smaller one than this. Amazing. It's been so good to have you here for this first look. I'd love to know what you think of the Hobolite. Is continuous lighting something that you would consider for your photography, or do you just like to use strobes? And would you consider these for video work? And especially the idea of them being on camera. All right, it's been so good to see you. And if this is your first time here, I would love to see you again. So please do share, do subscribe, and do like. All right, bye for now.